What is up, guys? It's Canal Cordero with Daniel Duncan. His link will be in the bio. And today we're going to be doing funny car wash stories. He did a video on how it is like to work at a car wash. We both work there.
Video on what it's like to work at a car wash, and I said that I would make some for funny stories. Me and this dude worked there. How long did you work there with me?
About half a year.
Like half a year?
I
Yeah.
started in December. I quit in like June.
Yeah. So we have a lot of funny times. We have some videos. Well, we have like 2 videos. Well, we have 3 because there's I don't want to spoil it, but there's 3 videos. They're pretty fun.
Alright. No, wait, we need that. Okay, so our first story, do you want me to go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so our first story, this guy comes in, old fat dude, comes in like a crappy ass Mercedes. This guy, it was a Mercedes, right?
No, it was a Chrysler.
Oh yeah, it was the Chrysler 300. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was. So this dude comes in, he's like, "Oh, take real good care of my car, and I'll take care of you guys."
Says they're gonna take care of you. That means that they're gonna come back or they're gonna give you a tip.
We're like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm gonna pull a bitch and I fuck her in the back seat."
He was like, y'all know what's gonna happen. I'm trying to get laid tonight and all this stuff. Hella funny.
Yeah, fuck that guy, by the way, because we did a hella good job. And
We
he didn't tip
vacuumed
us.
that car spotless.
Yeah,
And he
tip
didn't
us.
even come back. He said he was gonna take care of us, so if a customer, he didn't give us a tip.
Fuck that guy.
At least he gave us a laugh.
Yeah, he made us laugh.
He made us laugh.
Alright, your turn.
Good voice crack.
Shut up.
Alright guys, the next funny story that we have together was Kanoa over here. I don't know how he managed it, but somehow he stalled an automatic. I don't know how it's possible.
Okay, so it was one of
But
those.
he did it.
Alright, I'll explain. It was one of those push start cars, you know, the new ones that have the push start. And so I put it
Like
in.
you gotta get out and like push it to start it.
No, you push the button to start it. So I pushed the button and I put it in drive and it just decided to turn off. So that's what happened.
Yeah, but it made like the stall noise. It was funny.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, another funny story. This guy, he came in from San Jose, and he's like, San Jose's car wash, their prices are way too expensive. So he grabs his dick. He's like, I told him to suck my dick.
Dude, that was hella funny. Literally, he was sitting there telling us how our prices were so good, which
They're
honestly,
not.
our prices, they can suck it. And he jumps up, grabs his hand, and like
Pulls
runs
his
it up
dick
his
all the way up.
nuts. And
It was gross, but it was funny.
yeah, it was
I was trying not to
It
laugh,
was-
though.
one in a kind.
Something you don't see every day.
Yeah, you definitely don't see that every day. Alright, so the next story is about Kanoa over here
Twice.
not using his brain so much. We did this, it's a BMW. It's a 4-door SUV BMW.
The newer
We
one.
vacuumed it, and it was this lady's, and he went to go drive it in the tunnel because he wanted to drive it.
The
and
guy told me to pull it through the tunnel. so I
Going
did.
in the tunnel, there is tracks like this, and he scraped one of the rims on the one side. And this girl, she was sitting there at the tunnel, and she was watching him. And she went inside, and she was like, "Oh, I just watched that kid scrape my rim." She started crying. She was complaining about all of our services and stuff. They ended up having to call our manager, our general manager, have him come down there. They ended up paying for him for her. But now it's kind of funny because every single time she comes in, she gets a hand wash. But she
Thanks
tips
to me.
good. She gives like $10. Next story, guys. So I am into trucks. I love trucks. I'm a truck guy. 2500 coming, and it had like a 4-inch lift, and it had some nice tires and stuff on it. So I wanted to drive it. So I ended up taking this truck, and I pulled it around and I drove it on the tracks, but the back tire didn't get in the track, so it was up on top. And the guy working the wash told me to back it up, so I was backing it up, and the front tire went over the track. And right next to the track, there's like these little plastic covers over the like ditch thing that's for like the water,
drain.
the drain, yeah, the ditch thing. But
Drained it.
but so the tire went over it. I didn't feel it. You could tell this guy had good shocks because I didn't feel it. All I felt was the truck go, and I was just like,
Oh.
oh. So I ended up hopping out. My manager was like, "What the hell did you do?" And I was like,
Was it
"I was just
Antonio?
backing it out." No, Oscar was like, "This is why I don't want you on your phone and stuff." I wasn't even on my phone. I was listening to the radio. like before I got in there, because I have a video of me sitting there listening to music, and then the next snap cuts to them back in the car out of the tunnel. Just to be fair, I'm not the only person that did this. A month later,
Oh, the time me and Antonio almost got in a fight. The manager.
So has he almost gotten into a fight with that police? Hell, annoying.
Okay, so there's this guy named Antonio. He's like probably the rudest, most dickhead there. And John, which is the main manager, he told me to just move cars, and if it looks like they need help on vacuuming, go ahead, go help them. So I was moving cars, and Antonio was like, "Go vacuum." I was like, "Well, John told me to do that and this." And he's like, "I don't care, I'm here now." I was like, "Okay, I'll go vacuum." And I walked away and I shook my head. He's like, "What are you shaking your head for? Come on, come on, come at me, come on." I was like, "Bro, why are you trying to start a fight with a 17-year-old? Like, get your shit straight."
Dude, this guy's like 50 years old, and I mean, he's a dick, but I kind of.
Also, you're retired so many times.
All right, well, we're just gonna jump to that story next, then. So, my friend James, he put a water bottle under my tire once, and I drove off, and I heard like a boom, and I was just like, "What the hell was that?" So then I got the good idea, like I figured out it was a water bottle afterwards. But I got the good idea to be on it, but I put them under both tires.
That was so funny.
And one of them exploded, but the other one, like the car just spun it away. The water bottle kept our water and everything in it. I was amazed. Okay, so I did it to him, and he was driving it up, and the water bottle cap exploded off, and the water went all over Brianna's legs and her shoes, and she was so mad because she got soaked. Not really soaked, but she got wet. It was pretty funny.
Okay, but if you want to work there, make sure you take your birthday off because you will get drenched in a 5-gallon bucket of water.
Yeah, that was funny.
I took my birthday off.
That's the next story. Tell them.
I just said you get a 5-gallon bucket of water dumped on you, or maybe it's like a gallon or two. But I iron it, and they hid it behind the
dumpster. It was behind the fence.
Yeah, it was behind the fence, so it was near us. Between the lines and the vacuums, there's like this fence, and that's where they put all the equipment for the QC and the detailing. And they put the bucket behind the fence, and as the guy, because he was walking somewhere. Who fucking cares? So they pretty much got the bucket, and he dipped out around past the vacuums, and the guy poured the bucket on him, hit him in the head, and they both ate shit. It was hella funny.
No. So there was two of them. There was two guys. One guy was coming from the wash, and one guy was coming from where the dumpsters. So opposite ends like this. So they're both coming like this when he's running in, and the one guy gets it, and then the other guy runs up, and he slips in the water from the other guy, and the bucket goes boom right into the guy's face. It just soaks his face.
That was really funny.
Amazing.
Alright, another story. So we were like super, like, it was not busy at all. There was like 1 or 2 cars an hour, if that, because it looked like it was
winter time.
Yeah, winter time, which is coming up, which is nice. If you work at the car wash, good for him. So it was just me and him back there. He was doing sales, and we were both vacuuming up. And then, so we decided for him to drive a truck, and I was sitting in the bed. I will insert the video now.
Oh shit.
Fun, and then I did it to him, but we'll insert it.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, dude, there's a customer sitting there like...
Just go.
You saw it. It was
Alright.
funny. It was fun.
The manager we talked about earlier, the dickhead that almost got in a fight with me.
He almost got into a fight with me too. That's another story.
We'll tell that after this one. Okay, so he told me to go to lunch. So the car wash is fairly close to McDonald's, so I rode to McDonald's, and I turned around. 2 cars smack each other on the line right in front of all the customers. Because the driver here,
There's a little gazebo where they all sit at.
yeah, and they saw it, and they weren't very happy. And he was like, "It's your fault." I was like, "You told me to go on lunch. This is your problem." And he's like, "Go home." I was like, "Okay, bye."
You never cared getting sent home. I really didn't. Sometimes I did because I wanted to make some more money, but usually I just be like, all right, bye. I get to leave. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. All right. So tell him how he said shit to your mom, and you almost got in a fight with
okay.
that.
So this dude,
Antonio, the one I almost got in a fight with.
Antonio, my mom went to go get a car wash when I was in school. Like I explained, I'm still in high school. We're both still in high school. He's a senior. I'm a junior. My mom came in and got a car wash, and She got an employee wash, and she asked for a works, and all they gave her was an exterior, and he was really rude to her and stuff. So afterwards, mom told me that he was rude to me, so I had her take me after school. I got
Don't
there
worry.
and I asked him, I was like, so why couldn't my mom get a wash today? Why'd you only give her an exterior? And why were you so rude to her? And he's all, oh, I wasn't rude to her, blah, 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 blah. And he tried to say that I was like, well, this is like a problem. And then he went to my mom and me and he was like, I don't have a problem, but if you guys want a problem, we can have a problem. And I should have told this dude, I was like, yo, don't talk to my mom like that and stuff. And then the other manager came over to me and he was like, I need to talk to you. I was like, okay. And he's like, so when your mom came in today, she can only get an exterior wash because she got an employee wash. And if you get an employee wash, you have to come in and do it yourself, which isn't true because they all get their family to come and do it and they do it
Okay.
full
Yeah.
detail or whatever. So they were saying that she could only get an exterior because she didn't tip good. And basically, so what he told me was if I wanted a wash, I had to come in. So I went and talked to the general manager about this, and he said that they've been having a lot of problems. Dude, I haven't. So he
Just
went.
look at the lens. You
So
don't
I
have to
went
look
and
at
talked
yourself.
to her, the manager and the general manager, and he told me that I just need to do it myself, and that I don't even have to pay. So that's what I've been doing now. But all right, next story. Tell him.
Okay, so the first day I ever started working there, I was talking to John, the general manager. Buddy, which is one of the cooler guys.
Buddy's nice.
He's Hawaiian like me, and so he was training me. He taught me how to do the vacuums. So one of the other managers, Jorge, he walks over to me. He starts speaking Spanish. I looked so lost. I was like, no habla español.
Guys, so the last story is my first time driving a stick shift. To me, and he told me put it in first gear. So I put it in first gear, and I had the clutch all the way in and everything. And he was like, all right, so just release the clutch and give it gas. So that's what I did. And I laid so much rubber and almost crashed into a tree.
We
It
totally
was-
forgot
it
our
was
burnout
pretty
stories.
crazy. Yeah, we got burnout stories.
Okay, quick one. One of the friends of the general manager came in with like a nice Jaguar, so I decided to do a burnout in a person's car that could get me fired. I remember that, so I did a burnout in front of the customer's car. I didn't see them, and they're like, "Why are you doing burnouts?" I was like, "Oh, my bad." I said I was like, the gas was really touchy, my bad. So yeah,
They ended up complaining. We get a lot of complaints.
just us two, probably the most.
All right, well, one more story actually. This was before I started working there, but my friend James told me about this. There's this one kid there, Gavin, and he told me, he was like, yeah, we were vacuuming out this car once, and I was in the driver's seat, and Gavin was vacuuming out the back, and there was stuff back there, but there was a little bit of space to vacuum. So he got done, and Gavin went to press the button, and he floored it, and everything went flying on.
Okay, but just don't leave shit in your car, please.
You come to a car wash, please take out all of your garbage. If there's stuff in the back, don't expect us to move it. It's not our job. We're not supposed to touch your stuff.
Yeah, we get yelled at when you touch your stuff because you like to complain that we stole your stuff when we just moved it out of the way and put it where you can't find it.
Wait, we got one more thing to talk about. One more final story was this one guy. He came in and he had a vape mod, sitting in his center console, like on the charger, and I saw it there and I was like, oh okay, guy vapes, cool, good for him. And so I vacuumed his car and everything. I don't remember. It was me and my friend Galen. He doesn't work there anymore. He quit too. Most people quit. This car, it was a blue Honda. I remember this, and it was a big white guy. And I took it. I put it in the wash. I helped him wash it. They took it through the line. This guy came back like an hour later, and he was screaming at us, saying that we stole his vape and all this stuff, and that it was a $200 vape. We all got yelled at. I was amazed because I figured they were going to search our stuff, but I wasn't tripping. I didn't have it. I didn't take it. I don't know who did, but it was gone. And he was screaming at us, and the manager, Eduardo, afterwards, he was like, stupid people just trying to get money out of the car wash.
It was a small car, okay? So this guy supposedly had cigarettes in the glove compartment, glove box, whatever you want to call it. And we were vacuuming, and then we drove it to the line. And after it was done in QC, he checked his glove box and saw the cigarettes were missing. And they yelled at us. They're like, "Oh, don't be taking stuff." I was
They
like,
yelled at him first, and then
I was like, I'm 17. I don't smoke. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
neither me or Daniel would do that because, like, cigarettes smell nasty. My dad smokes every day, and it's gross.
And it's just bad for your health.
Yeah, and
Kids don't smoke, don't vape, don't do any drugs.
exactly.
There's better things to do in life.
We wouldn't steal cigarettes because he was 16, and we were like, oh, really? A 16 and a 17-year-old would steal cigarettes? Like, it totally makes sense. And then the last story for today.
No, I'm gonna finish the rest of that story.
Okay.
So actually, I was sitting in a car, in a truck again, and in a truck. I usually chill in trucks.
and
I was in a truck, and I was on FaceTime with one of my friends, and the manager opened the door, and he was like, "Oh, did you steal some guy's cigarettes?" I was like, "No, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't like cigarettes. I don't care for them." And he was like, "Okay, well, some guy got his cigarettes stolen, and he said that you guys vacuumed his car, and he said whoever the asshole is that stole him should be fired."
Yeah, he did the same thing to me, but I was in the Mustang, which was a couple cars away.
Yeah. All right. For the final story, it was these 4 guys, and they came in a black F-150, and we vacuumed their car and everything. They took it around. They got it all done, and then they brought it back to us for a re-vacuum, and they were complaining about how they did a shitty job, and then they were all like getting all up in our face because there was a box missing out of the back of their car. A box, I swear, guys, this big. If you buy like a necklace or something like that, it's like one of those. It's small. But they were all complaining about it, and they were getting in our face. And so my manager went into the tunnel, got the box, gave it back to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, thank you, Holmes," and all this stuff to him, and said something to him in Spanish. And then when they left, the manager was like, effing N-words. I swear. That's exactly what he told us. Or told me. You weren't working there.
So that's it for this video. Leave a like and drop a comment. We have a whole bunch more stories. If you would like to see a part 2, go ahead and leave a comment. And yeah, comment re-vacuum if you want to hear more stories. We have a lot of re-vacuum stories where people just get like, they're just complete assholes about it.
Go crazy about their vacuuming. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, so if you would like to see that, just comment re-vacuum, and then we'll do some more. Thank you guys for watching, and now roll the outro.